Hello everyone, Ron here from HEISTMAN'S Hit the Road. Welcome to our channel. We're back in Florida for the winter. First stop, TTO, Thousand Trails Orlando. There, we'll share a bit of camper staging procedures during a Friday check-in. Then, we watch from the top of our camper for friends coming in on a Wednesday. We'll later enjoy some Disney attractions and then attempt a hack repair on our rotary TV antenna. Jacki and I are excited to get the adventure started, so buckle up and let's hit the road. I took a walk on a Friday to gather intel and learn how early TTO will let campers stage at the gate.
11:50 a.m. Here comes the first camper down. Let's see if they turn them around or let them sit. Well, they let that camper in, so maybe he's paying the $30 arrive early fee. I don't know. Usually they don't open the gate till noon for incoming campers. Check-ins at noon here at Thousand Trails Orlando. Now that reflection's been in the parking lot here outside the office since about 20 minutes to 12, and there's people sitting in it, so we'll see what they do when noon rolls around. So that reflection at 2 minutes to 12 started heading towards the gate. It's 1 minute to noon right now, and he's almost to the gate. So I don't know if they came in and just parked there, or if they came in, parked there, went in to talk to the Thousand Trails people, you know, kind of to get information, or as a guy. So one or the other, I would imagine, but there they are, first in line. There's another turtle hole right here by the storage lot. It's right at noon, and here comes the procession down the road. I don't know if they were holding them up out there along the highway in the turnoff, or if they're just that good at timing. There they come. It's Friday, so I would imagine a lot of people showing up today. Seven of them lined up by noon, not including the one that went up there from the parking lot here. So that's really good timing, or they were waiting in the turnout up there at the end of the road. And it's my understanding the local police don't like that, so. So you got some sandhill cranes working their way down the road, and there's dogs penned out down there, and they're being quiet, so that's really good. First rig of the day, TTO. It's Wednesday, noon. Rig number 2 coming through the gate. Rig number 3 coming in. Rig number 4. Rig number 5. And our friends, RV plus 3, coming in at number 6. Here comes number 7. Number 8 coming in. Thank you. You're so pretty, honey.
I know.
I know. It's even more pretty than the last ones.
Sure.
Is that the one you have? While adjusting the antenna on the roof, something broke. The antenna's not moving. So let's find out what's going on. So with the screws removed, that's what comes down. That comes, oh, that comes off. That comes off there. Just lifted right off this. And these just fell out. 2 of these. Which it looks like they're obviously broken off the bottom of the antenna, so that's why it's not turning around. So these will fit in here like this, but they're supposed to be connected to the bottom of the rotor on the antenna, and they've broken off, so I'm gonna have to pull the antenna down and either fix it or replace it. Okay, so as you can see, there's no control over it. It's just freewheeling up here. So I used a putty knife and I went ahead and I peeled up the self-leveling die core around this to get it off the top. And I've taken some of the screws out already. I'm going to take the remaining 4 screws out and we'll lift it out of there and see what we got. So I brought a couple of scrapers up, see if I can get under this. Okay. All that's holding it up there now is a cable. That's it. Coax connection. And it's off there. And we'll take it down below. See what's going on here, but I can see where those pieces broke off. So before I take that antenna down, I'm going to work up all this very carefully, all this butyl tape and the die core. Get this all cleaned up. Then we'll go down and we'll figure out what we got to do to fix that antenna or to replace it, one or the other if I can't fix it. But got some ideas. Okay, so down inside here there's a nut, and this 15/16 socket fits right over it down there, and that's how I'm going to get this base off, hopefully. Yeah, it wasn't that tight either. Oh, look at that, yeah. So that's what the nut looks like. Got to clean all this off, of course. Oh, and then I got to pull this coax cable out. Alright, so I don't know if you can see it, but that's where those 2 pieces broke off. You remember this from inside? Okay, so the pieces that came out of here are these 2 pieces of plastic. And I don't know if you can see it, but if you look at the end of this thing, you know, basically a piece of plastic on top here and a piece of plastic on the bottom, or one side or the other, right? And those pieces of plastic are what broke off the rotor mechanism. Okay, so my dilemma is, you know, probably no glue will ever hold this, you know, to repair. So what I thought about was, let me show you, was, okay, the other side's the same, right? Now, these pieces of plastic that work inside that tube are slotted just like they're basically the same thing as what was on top. This being on the bottom, and the cranks on this from inside, right? Cranks on that, turns this, turns the tube, turns the antenna. Well, okay, so if I had something like this, as you can see, this is hex up here, and it fits inside this hex, so it can be turned, right? Just like that. Now, I thought, okay, this kind of fits in there loose, but if I had something that like this that fit inside here tightly, I could glue it in there, and that would pretty much hold. And so I started taking measurements with my dial calipers, right? And I made a little drawing, and I took it down to Kurt, RV Plus 3, Kurt and Melody, and their son Marcus. They have a 3D printer, and I gave them the dimensions, and they created this. Okay, which is even going to be stronger. I mean, this end will fit right into there, right? I'll glue it in. And this end will fit in the tube. Now it's going to be even stronger because, you know, they're not hollow, they're connected. I mean, this is a much stronger piece. The only difference is, I mean, this could be as long as I want because it'll just go deeper into the tube, right? But the only difference is I had them leave meat here, you know, so it'd be even stronger. So it's solid all the way. And now that I had them add more meat here, you know, I've lost some space in the ceiling. This being up in the antenna and this being coming up from inside, right? So worst case scenario, I might have to trim some off this tube. You know, I took the time while they were making the piece for me to go ahead and clean up the butyl tape residue that was on the bottom of this. And then I'm working right now to clean this off, and then I have to go up on the roof and clean all the remnants of the butyl tape that was under here, and then the self-leveling die core that was put around here, right? So a lot of it's going to be prep work, but right now I'm going to glue the new piece into the rotary mechanism and finish cleaning up, put it back together, and put it back on. So here's the piece they made me. I'm just going to put some super glue on it. Might be too much, but it's in that enclosed area, so should be fine. I don't think this will ever break. And I'm going to go ahead and slide it in there. Let her dry. So I'm just using some mineral spirits. And this self-leveling die core that's on the top of this base, it doesn't have to be totally removed because the new self-leveling will stick to it as long as it's clean. So I scraped off and pried up as much as I'm gonna. Now I'm just cleaning it with the mineral spirits in preparation. Okay, so now I have to put this back on here. So put the base back on and give this a couple of twists around there because that's the way it was. And the coax goes out through this hole. There, just like that, I think. Let's see. Ooh. One little problem. Okay, I have to make a confession, all right? I went ahead and glued this in there, and after I did, the shoulder on the bottom of it that we left, that I had him beef up, I could not get this around that shoulder, and it was already glued in there, so I had to figure a creative way to get that shoulder off there enough to where I could get that on, and then, of course, get the nut that holds it on there. So what I ended up doing was taking a 1-inch hole saw, okay, and I took the pilot bit out of it, and then I had to cut off about 3/8 of an inch off the top, which really won't matter because the tube just slides over, and it, you know, it was longer than the other one anyway. So And that allowed me to use the hole saw to get down in there enough to cut that shoulder off there and then get it down to where this will now fit on there. So that's the next step. So I've got this coiled around, and now I'm going to feed it through the hole, and then I'm going to slide this down in there just like that. I'm going to put this nut back on that I took off. That'll drop down in there, and I used a 15/16 deep wall socket to loosen up, so I'll use that to tighten it back down. And I should have dry fitted it to begin with before I glued it, but because I think that would have, after I put the base on, it would have glued right down in there and wouldn't have been a problem, but now it's definitely not a problem. Good. So the next step is to take it back on the roof and mount it. But I got some work to do up on the roof, getting that old Jayco self-leveling sealant off there. All right, I'll leave this down here while I go up there and do that. Got the butyl tape all on here. Get up on the roof, hook up the coax, stick it down where it's got to be, put the screws in, die-core, self-leveling. It'll be done. I'll take you up there. Now I'm going to line that backwards so I know where back is. So I got that antenna, arranged so it faces straight back, and that would be the, the toe position where the position you want to have it in when you're hauling. So that way I can set up the knob down below so it's in the stored position when I install it. So I'm looking up in the hole and I see the way that those slots are aligned on that new piece, that repair piece we made and installed. So I'm trying to line this up with it. Of course, once you get that up in there, it locks your view, but... Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's up in there. The dial, you rotate it counterclockwise to the store position. And I want one of these pointing straight ahead, like towards the front of the camper, when it's in the total stored position. That'll let me know I'm there. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up that way, or hopefully try to, because it's a hex here, so I've got 6 different tries, right? So let me give it a whirl. And I want it aligned, of course, with the screw holes. It's going to be close enough right there. It's going to have to work right there. Alright. Look at that. So now I gotta put the screws in once I find them. So I've got one screw kind of started. I'll go ahead and tighten it up in there. Okay, there's one. There. There's 2. Number 3. Can I see it? Yep, there it is. And that should fix the antenna problem. TTO, Thousand Trails Orlando campground. Went ahead and picked up the site. Here's my take. There's one tire getter in here. I guess that could get in a tire. And a little clip and hook. I'll find a use for that or find somebody that can use it. Yep. So MCCA, make campsites clean again, Mecca. If we all do our part, we'll all have a better camping experience. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please like and subscribe. And also, click on the bell icon. That way you'll be notified when new material hits our channel. From Rohn and Jacki at HEISTMAN'S Hit the Road, have a great day and thanks for watching.